For today, we're going to be going into a long reach kind of type of theory. It's got some backing behind it. For the most part, it's like a what if this does happen kind of thing. Just for most partially fun, but also excitement. Because looking now, we have Patri who got his body back thanks to Raditz, but with that, we now have two people in the Clover Kingdom that have Black Clover Grimoires, because we don't know what's going to happen to William, Patri, and, the Third Eye people, Raya, Vito, and Fauna, but we do know that they're obviously going to stick around for the story. And looking at it, we know that this is the end of pretty much the first big chunk of Black Clover, because up until now, the arcs were all leading into the Elf Resurrection arc, and now this arc is, about to end in the next, probably 2 or 3 chapters. So now we got to get up to another arc. And there's a lot of theories and beliefs that there's going to be a small time skip. How much, again, I don't know. But the way I've been thinking about things is because we know Asta wants to be Wizard King, there are at least 2 steps in between that I hope that Tabata will go through, and that is Vice Captain and Captain. I'd love to see Asta as a captain before he ends up becoming Wizard King. I always thought that was one thing that Naruto... I guess I can't really say with Naruto skipped over, because Naruto did a lot of, big leadership stuff in the 4th Shinobi War. So it's kind of like an iffy one to really compare it to. But Vice Captain, we might see. Captain, I'm really hoping we see. Vice Captain's kind of like, we don't need it, but I'd like to see it. Captain, I'd love to see it. And one of the reasons is, we know that now how Black Clover Grimoires are made. You have a 4-leaf Clover Grimoire that kind of dips too far into depravity in the dark, and it ends up evolving into this demonic 5-leaf Clover Grimoire, and then becoming a demonic version of whatever the magic was within it prior. So that kind of following forward, there's also the questions of that I've been, people have been going over. It's which characters that we know of will die in the future. I think Yami is a candidate to die eventually, not now. I don't think it'd be for a couple years, but he's a character I think by the time, Asta is getting close to being Wizard King, I feel like Yami will have died by then. I think maybe right before he ends up becoming a captain, right before that portion of the story, if it shows, Captain Asta at some point. But the whole idea that I'm kind of I've been pushing and following go up and go up in the last 30 minutes almost of this video is, we know that when you are made captain, you are able to create your own Magic Knight squad. And one of the things now that we know about Black Clover, it's not just the name of the series has to do with the main character, but also has to do with the Black Clover Grimoires in general. There's more of them. There's going to be more. We don't know how many. We don't know who and where and when and why. But we do know there's going to be more Black Clovers. So keep this in mind. You just put this kind of part in your head. So the Clover Kingdom, they have their Magic Knight orders. We don't know if they have any special ops unit. I went over this a little bit in my stream last week, but imagine this, all right? Imagine that Asta, one of the things he does, maybe a couple more, join the fray, 3, 4 characters all show up with Black Clover Grimoires, and Asta slowly, turns them onto his side. And then Asta's made captain forms his own Knight Order, maybe something like the Envu, a Spec Ops team, they're the elite force of the Clover Kingdom. And you could call them the Black Clovers. Now, this would add in 2 extra layers, I think, of the name of the series tied onto it. Because then you also have a Knight Order called the Black Clovers, which would be tied, obviously, to Asta being the main character, and him naming them after, the grimoires they have. And it would also kind of add in a tie with the series. Not the series as much as a whole, obviously the name, but the Clover Kingdom, and them having this elite Black Op unit called the Black Clovers. Just imagine that idea of Asta leading that group. You have these people that are only called upon when stuff needs to get done. It's we're 100% serious, send those guys in. And it would just be kind of like the Black Bulls, and that would also, I think that would also have a nice little tie-in, nod at, the Black Bull's origin, with the way that they were slowly formed, one by one. It wasn't as we're getting hordes of people like a bunch of the other Knight Orders seem to have, just large sums. The Black Bulls were all hand-picked very like carefully by Yami, and very much like he enjoyed aspects about them to bring them in, not just like, oh, this guy's powerful, I'm gonna bring him in a team. He liked a personality trait about them, which would be cool to see maybe some coming from Asta, or instead of that, he's looking for people with the Black Clover grimoires, because I imagine if you come back from being a Black Clover grimoire user, you fall into that state of depravity in return, or Asta pulls them out of that state, they're gonna have somewhat of a, right off the bat, good bonds and ties. So this is mostly just a theory. This is just kind of a speculation, only because now we have two Black Clover grimoire users, and the possibility of Asta being captain in the future is, well, he's gonna be captain at some point. Whether or not it's in the story, we don't know. And I think it would just be a really nice and like awesome like surge to the series to just add that extra aspect. I don't know. And tell me if I'm reaching or not. So in the comments though, give me your opinion. Do you like this idea? I think it'd be pretty sick, because you just imagine like just like people sitting around and they're just like, oh, the Clover Kingdom sent some people to take us down. You're like, oh, which Niger is it? Is it the Crimson Lions, the Silver Eagles? And they're like, hang on, let me see. And they see the Grimoire. It's like, oh shit, no, it's the Black Clovers. And they're just like, we need to get the fuck out of here. But tell me in the comments what you think, what your opinions on this. I think the idea is great, but then again, that's why it's my opinion. I thought of it, so I mean, someone probably thought of it before, but I'm making a video on it, and I haven't seen anybody talk about it. So you could kind of count it towards the, if you haven't heard it from anybody else. I don't know. Either way, that's not the important part. Important part is the idea itself is really cool, and I would love to hear what you guys. My cat's knocking shit over. I hope that wasn't too loud. But I'm hoping you guys will tell me in the comment section below on your take on this, and I really appreciate if you thumbs up the video, or from the like button and the subscribe button. If my cat surprised you, thumbs up the video extra, and check out my other videos. But other than that, I appreciate everyone who's already subscribed, and I thank you all for listening. Bye.